Today, we, the students of the Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur, had the privilege of hosting Ms Nidhee Kekre, lead WPP Unilever Team India at WPP. We had a really engaging session, and now we would like to ask ma'am a few questions relevant to the business leaders of tomorrow. So, ma'am, what are some of the values you feel are important in our personal and professional lives?
So the values that I live by and I have lived by from a very young age, because somewhere they were told to be by my father and more so by my grandmother, my father's mother. Um, be brave, uh, have empathy, because and by bravery I mean have the courage to stand by your ideas, what your beliefs are, what your value systems are. Don't shy away from loving them, and have empathy, because everybody has a battle. Whoever you meet today is having a battle. So when you go into a client situation today or tomorrow, whenever you meet them, and you realize that he's under pressure, he's screaming and shouting, the chances are that the kind of loss or the kind of stress that you might be dealing on that portfolio or the line of work that you're doing with the client, he's feeling 10 times. And imagine what he must or she must be going through, and they go and have dinner at night with their family, how much worse it would be. So I think having empathy across border is extremely important. Have empathy with people who clean the toilets in the offices. I think it's nice. It makes you more human. It makes you more approachable, and humility goes a very long way.
So, how are the consumer insights leveraged to generate value to the consumer as well as the company? See, consumer insights they come in varied shapes, sizes, and forms, right? So, right from what they like, what they don't like, what they remember, what they don't remember, what their preferences are, how they like to be spoken to, what they like to be talked to. So it's all about it's knowing your consumer, right? So it impacts the consumer in terms of getting the right product. He's not unnecessarily, especially in today's day of digital media, where he's getting bombarded with messages and with adverts. It's important for him to get the relevant messaging. He's able to connect with it, and, and he's able to kind of appreciate that you've taken the time and the effort and made it easier for him to relate with the com. And for companies, it's very simple. It's more effective ROI. So, ma'am, you had mentioned about one view of a customer. So, could you elaborate it for the benefit of our viewers? So, one view of your consumer, or one view of your overall organization, is basically stitching every piece of data that you may have sitting in any corner, any nook and cranny of your organization, right from your KYC forms to your track data to your measurement cycles to the MMMs, your distribution networks, retail sales reports, the whole works. I think it's all of this needs to be, first of all, ingested in a singular place. Once you've ingested, it needs to be cleaned, it needs to be put into a readable format. And I think once you've been able to do that, you actually have a visibility of who your consumers are, what do they need, what do they want. And not only this, you actually get ideas of how to move forward. Today, if today the trend is that products have to move into services. That's what the new thing is, right? For me to do that, if I don't know the consumer, how do I move my product into a service? It's very difficult. Therefore, building this one view allows me to put on the table, put all cards on the table at the same time. My cards, my company cards, my policies, my plus points, and my consumer and his interests, to be able to draw a winning hand. And lastly, ma'am, how was your experience interacting with the students of the Vinod Gupta School of Management? And what message do you have for the business leaders of tomorrow? I had a blast. I had so much fun. It's not funny. It's a great batch. It's very energetic. It's a very open and a very expressive batch. They're very expressive people. Great fun. It's a learning exercise all the time. It's always to learn, especially from this generation. My message to the younger generation is work hard. There's no shortcut there. Be consistent with your work. And to become a leader, I think
you don't have to be, you don't need to have a designation to be a leader. You can be the junior most person and still be the leader, because leadership is a mindset. It's not a title. And once you learn that, once you start acting on that, then it is not about a designation anymore. You will become the leader by default. It's about having the mindset, taking people along, having empathy, having kindness. You should work on all of those qualities and become the leader that you want to be. The designations will follow.
So once again, it was a really engaging session, and thanks for taking out the time to interact with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.